It's August, it's blooming hot, and today I'm going to show you exactly how we conserve water to make the most of the natural harvesting systems that we've got in place. So yeah, amongst a few other things. Okay, I just thought I'd show you a little bit more detail. I'm going to call it a water harvesting system because that sounds very posh, but basically it's how we collect the water off the polytunnel roof, because I've said before that just is such a vast surface for the rain to hit and run down. So for that to come and just go straight into the ground would be such a waste. So what we've got, you can hear the ground crunching, can't you? It's that dry. What we've got these stakes positioned on the outside of the polytunnel going straight into the ground, and then on each of those we've got, can you see there, like a little support for the pipe. And then obviously if you just put the pipe straight up, butt against the I know it always sounds funny, butted up against the roof, the danger would be that the rain would get in between the two and escape that way. So what you have to do is tape a piece of well, we had some spare polythene from the polytunnel which we used, taped that up there so it had a nice long run, absolutely sealed there. The water comes down off the roof, down across the plastic, and then that is completely overlapped into the drain pipe, and theoretically that will then come along and fill this water butt here. Now you can see at the moment we've got the hose pipe running into there, and that is because we've just had no rain to fill the butt up. So we are allowed to use the hose pipe to fill the water butts. However, we are not allowed, supposedly, although I'm not too sure how many people stick to this rule. We do, we have to, because we are right at the end, so we'd be spotted if we use the hose pipe to water the crops. But yeah, we're not allowed to use them to water the crops themselves, but we can use it to fill the water butts. So if I just back up here, let me show you. We haven't just got that water butt. We've got quite a few there, and the idea really, we link that one to that one, but we still haven't linked to that one or that one. So we need to set up our system to be a little bit more well, efficient really. I mean, at the moment, look, we've even had this tub here, and it shows you we've had no rain, look, and this washing up bowl, anything that we can put outside to collect the rain. But the good thing is, even though this is mains water going into the water butt there, by the time we get around to use it, it is sort of, I'm saying room temperature. It has warmed up a bit, so the plants aren't going to get that cold shock that they would do if it was coming straight from the main supply. And you can see we've got the same going on this side, but here we've only got one butt, so there's plenty of room there for more. So when people do offer us dustbins, we're over the moon. Let me show you what else we've got. We've got that one over there, catching water off this side of the greenhouse. We've got this great big tub here, like a big tank, but to be honest, that's where the frogs live, so we tend not to disturb that one. We've got this one on the other side of the greenhouse, and let's have a look at the water. This hasn't been topped up at all, look. That's the water right down there. A couple more there, collecting from the centre of the double greenhouse, and one more here collecting from the shed, although to be honest, I can see that that pipe has actually fallen out. So even if we had had rain, it would have completely missed the bucket. And last but not least, we've got these two buckets here that, as I said earlier, we were given by a neighbour. And so we've decided to leave these at the moment right in the middle of the plot, because these beans need all the help they can get. So we have filled these from the hose because obviously there's been no rain, but this water is now, I keep saying room temperature, you know what I mean. It's a nice ambient temperature, so we can dip the watering can in there and get the water straight to the roots of the beans. Hello, you want to get watered? You want to get watered? You want to get watered? The water's so in front of you. That's a waste of water, isn't it? A little bit of off-camera watering here. I don't think I'm alone in saying that so far the beans this year have been particularly poor. And what's been happening is the flowers, they just haven't set beans. They've dropped before the beans have actually set, and that's just to do with the heat. So while I can, I'm making sure, really I'd like to water them a lot more than this and for a lot longer than this, but I'm making sure that they all get a decent water at each station. And it gives me a chance to look at the beans as well. Oh my goodness me, look at this one. How have I missed that? Let me show you. I haven't seen that one at all. So they are all performing. They're just all down below my eye. Oh my goodness, there's loads. What sort are they? They are cobra. Good old cobra. I'll be picking those before I go home then. But yeah, the other good thing about using a watering can, I know it takes a lot longer than a hose and it's a lot less convenient in many ways, but it does make you very, very mindful of where you're actually aiming the water at. I've seen so many times hose pipes just put on, you know, let's not even mention sprinkler systems, just purely to wet the soil, and the amount that seems to go to waste is abominable. So I'll do this side here and then I'll go around the back and continue. Rocky, you're right in the way, sunshine. Are you sure you don't want watering? Poor dog. Oh, it helps if you haven't got a snail at the end of your watering can as well. There we go, not a bad little haul. A nice unexpected bean harvest. There you have it. Oh, you know, I wish you could see now. I might put a clip in. The sky has been so clear, and there's just so many trails. Sorry, Mike's just, yeah, there we go. It's subtle, isn't he? There are so many trails of smoke off the aeroplanes. Actually quite beautiful. Oh, hello, it's you as well. It's you as well. Hello. Anyway, I've come up to the top end of the plot because even though we were, only a month ago we were sitting in the garden until about 10 o'clock at night. I think it's about 8 o'clock now, and the sun's just dipping down that there horizon, so it's not going to be long before we pack up and go home. But yeah, I mean, you know, I know you all know it's been hot, and if you're not in the UK, you're going to think, ha, what's she on about? She doesn't even know what hot is. But oh my goodness, it's the humidity level. It's just so sapping. And really, again, I feel like it's another excuse. He's got several water bowls with fresh water in up and down the plot, and he will find, oh no, he's actually eating a strawberry plant now. Rocky, off there. He will find the dirtiest little puddle, not that there are any at the minute, and go and drink from that instead. So poor lad, he's suffering with the heat. So we try not to take him out outdoors between 12 and 6 because the pavements are so hot. But anyway, by the time you see this will all be completely defunct because we're meant to have amazing rainfall over the next week. So I don't think it's going to be enough to replenish all the reservoirs and everything, but it'll certainly do the garden some good. I mean, I'm sitting here next to the dahlias. Now, this time last year, this dahlia patch, you could not see the soil. It was completely packed with blooms. It had the few gladioli. I mean, these are coming. These are beautiful. In completely the wrong place, but it had the gladioli, it had cosmos in there, and it had, sorry, it's a spider on my head. Go away. And the dahlias of all different colours are in there. It looked beautifully blousy. And look at it this year. I've actually got one flower on my honker, which is my favourite. I've got my cafe au lait here. I don't know if they're in shot. They're very, very small. And I've got these here. And this was a tuber I was gifted a good few months ago. And they're beautiful flowers, but I've got no idea what they are. But look how late everything is. I mean, again, talking about the water, we've really had to pick and choose what it is that we water. And so potatoes, they've hardly got any. The raspberries have, because they haven't fruited yet. They're the autumn fruiting raspberries. But things like the gooseberries and the currants that have already fruited, they're not getting any more water now. They've done their job for the year. Flowers, absolutely bottom of the list. And it's such a shame because you know how much I love to have flowers in the garden. So yeah, we've really had to pick and choose where the water goes. I mean, when we first moved in here, about 4 years ago now, we had a tap actually just inside the gate, so we could use a hose whenever we wanted to. We could just go and hose everything willy-nilly, whether it needed it or not. But not just the fact that we now have to walk down to a standpipe, connect our hose through the neighbours' gardens, etc., etc., but the way things are at the moment, it does make you really, really mindful of how much water I'll hands up to this, we waste. And I mean, you know, doing your teeth, how easy is it just to leave that tap running that little bit? Just letting your bath water out, you know, you maybe had a quick dip, all that water's going down the drain. And so that's the next thing for me. I'm saying all this now, and we're going to get rain next week, hopefully, fingers crossed. But it's really, really, I keep using the word mindful, but it's really made me mindful of just how much water we waste. We are completely overprivileged in the fact that we can go to a tap and expect to get water out of it, hygienic, drinkable water. And we've just been spoilt over the years, and we should be looking at different ways for conserving. I told you it was hot. I can't speak properly now. Conserving water. So yeah, I think it's good actually every now and then. It's inconvenient as heck, but to have a little bit of a shake-up. But I can see now just over there, the sun. I can't actually see the sun now. I can see the red as the sun's going down just behind the trees. The birds have gone quiet now. Mike's just finishing. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's doing something with a cabbage. But it's time to go very, very quiet now and go home, and I think have a nice cold beer. Medicinal, of course. Anyway, I hope you're all okay. Let me know in the comments below how you're managing in the heat with your water supply. Have you got a hosepipe ban? Are you in another part of the world where this is something that you deal with regularly? Let me know how you deal with it. Put them in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I've got to give a huge shout out here and a big thank you to JB from over at Naturally JB, who talked me through some of the most basic analytics of YouTube that have never ever made sense to me the other day, and he actually showed me how many people watch the videos who are subscribed and who aren't subscribed, and it turns out it's about 30% of you watch the videos and you're not subscribed. So if you're not, please consider doing so. It does me the world of good, and it means that YouTube have to recognise me a little bit more than they already do. So thank you, JB. I will put a link, you've probably all switched off by now, but I'll put a link to his channel down below in all the information and details below the video. But for now, I'm going to be quiet now like the birds. I'll see you all very soon. Hope you're okay. Bye for now.